Good morning. Good morning. Sign in and say good morning, and I will say good morning to you. Y'all, this is the day the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Sign on and say good morning. When you sign on, hit the like, comment, and share button. Tag at least a couple people and get to sharing because sharing is caring. Good morning to everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see who's gonna be the first to say good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. You tuned into Morning Coffee and me. I'm Pastor Latoya Harris, and this is your inspiration station, your spiritual caffeine boost. Coffee stands for Christ offers forgiveness for everyone, everywhere. Good morning. Good morning. We're so glad to have you all tune in. I'm going to start talking because guess what? My timer has started. Good morning, Felicia Spencer. How are you, dear? Good to see you this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're staying safe and warm. Good morning. Hello, Samantha Simmons. Miss you dearly. It's so good to see you on Facebook this morning. Hope you're staying safe and warm. Good morning to my love, Pastor Darius Harris. Thank you so much for coming on. And I know that you're staying safe and warm. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, once you come on, I want you to tag a couple of people, hit the share button on this morning. And if you're going to watch this by replay, you can still like, comment, and you can still share. You can still like, comment, and you can still share. Are you all staying warm? Those of you all who are in the Texas area, we are under, some places might laugh at us because um, we call this a winter storm. Where I'm at in Tyler, there is no snow on the ground, but we in a winter storm because lights have gone out. There are people still without lights, and it's cold, um, below freezing, just a little bit. And so, hey, are you all staying warm? You all staying warm? You all staying warm? Are you all staying warm? Those of you all who are experiencing this cold weather, I hope that everyone has a place where they can stay warm. If your electricity is out, I hope you have a place where you can stay warm. Good morning. And so, yeah, definitely good morning to everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. But we're going to go ahead and get started with those of you all who are on here now. Good morning, Kimberly Hill. And to everyone that will come on, good morning to everybody. Listen, our topic for this morning, and I am talking kind of low, so hopefully you all can still hear me. Yes, our electricity is off at our home, but guess what? I am that unstoppable woman coming on live. Yeah, that unstoppable woman. So hopefully you all can hear me pretty good because I can't talk too loud or they'll put us out for where we're at. Thank you, Kimberly Hill. Say you're loud and clear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're on part two today. God is making the cut. We're on part two. Thank you all for tagging other people. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for tuning in this morning. But however, The topic is God is making this cut, part two. God is making this cut, part two. I need to let you all know I felt a need to go a little bit more extensive or to extend the topic out because as human beings, we always do not understand why things happen the way they happen. Are y'all gonna talk back to me this morning? A lot of times we do not understand why things happen the way they happen, when they happen, and whoever they happen to, whether that's you or someone else. We don't understand um, sometimes God's ways and how God at times is protecting us from something we do not even see. And who wouldn't serve a God like that? Can somebody type that this morning? Who would not serve a God like this, like that? Who goes before us, who stands behind us, who's on the side and on the left, and who can see in three-dimensional, who can see in dimensions, who can see way past what we can see. And he's always ahead of us. He's always in our past, in our current, and always also in our future. Who wouldn't serve a God like this? Who wouldn't serve a God like this? That even if we cry, he'll let us cry because he say, you know what, you're crying, but I'm saving your life. You don't see what's coming ahead. You don't see what's around the corner. You don't see what the enemy has planned to trip you up. I see it. You may not understand it now. You don't see the stab in the back. You don't see that somebody that's for you may end up being against you. You don't see that somebody's against you might be for you. You don't see all the ins and outs. And so the greatest tool or the greatest principle as we as believers can learn is literally following the plan of God. And that's the turn I want to take today, following the plan of God. If I would be honest, because I got now probably about 25 minutes, if I would be honest, I can tell you the hardest part of my spiritual journey, being a God believer, being a blood washed believer, walking this out day to day. My first acknowledgement that I remember, 8 years old, standing before the congregation and saying the prayer of repentance, asking God into my heart, and knowing that I was saved and being aware that I was had received salvation. I can tell you my biggest hang up, my biggest trip up, my y'all gonna talk this morning, my biggest um thing that has been in this walk has been following the plan of God. Are y'all gonna leave me out here? Because what I've noticed after several years of walking with him is his plan is not like our plan. And we can plan to do this, and we can have plans to do this, and we can have these plans for our lives, and we can have these plans for how we're going to live and what we're going to decide to do and have our own decisions and all of that. So my biggest thing was learning, Latoya, you're gonna have to follow the plan of God. If you want to have peace, if you want to be in the will of God, you can't come up with all these plans and you have not consulted with God. You have not allowed the Holy Spirit to lead you and guide you. Yeah, that sounds good, but is God in it? And I'm to a point and have been here a long time to where that's right. Who wouldn't serve a God like this or like that? That I have a mentality of, listen, if God ain't in it, I'm not with it. Can y'all type it today? If God ain't in it, I'm not with it. I'm not in it. If God ain't in it, I'm not with it. If that's not what he said, I'm not gonna say it. If that's not what he told me to do, that's not what I'm gonna do. If that's not the venture he told me to take, I'm just not gonna take it. I'm not, if God ain't in it, I'm not going in it. And the reason I say that is because God, when you submit your life to him, you also submit the very integral details of your life and your decision making to him. You should submit the totality of your life and your being to Jesus Christ and allow him to lead you. And the reason I say that is after you've made several mistakes and after you've gone a different way and after you've done something wrong for so long, You finally should get to a point to where you say, you know what, God, I'm not doing this without you. God, I'm not going without you. I'm not making this move without you. If God, you're gonna have to show me that and tell me that this is you. Are y'all talking today? Let me see what y'all saying. What are you all saying? This if God ain't in it, I'm not with it. I don't care how good it look. I don't even care how lucrative it is. I don't even care how much money. I'm just telling you, that's just where I am. I don't care how much money it presents. I don't care what platform it's on. I don't care who the person is. I don't care how famous. Um, it, I don't care about any of that. Hey, if God ain't in it, I'm not with it. Because let me tell you, it doesn't last. You find yourself in situations you praying yourself to get out of. So I'd rather, after all these years, trying to do it my way, I finally, can somebody understand what I'm saying? I finally got hit on the head with a V8. Girl, you don't have to do this way God didn't plan your life out. That's not how he planned it. Get with his plan and you'll see the manifestations of God. Give it his plan and you'll never want for nothing. Give it his plan. Not saying his plan is going to be easy, because it definitely is not. Not saying you won't have to sacrifice on this way, on this route. You definitely will. But get with the plan of God and he going to have your back. Get with the plan of God and he going to make a way out of no way. Get with the plan of God. He's going to open doors for you. Get with the plan of God. He's going to give you resources, ideas, and creative ability. Get with the plan of God. Get with the plan of God. Listen, his thoughts, I told you all on Tuesday, are not our thoughts. Good morning to everybody that's tuning in. His ways are not like our ways. If you all can share this video and tag at least 2 people, thank you for doing that ahead of time. His thoughts are not our thoughts. His ways are not our ways. And a lot of times we waste a lot of times. I understand some of those times are learning moments and learning curves, and we learn from our mistakes. But let me tell you, I didn't learn. I didn't learn. I didn't learn. Is that a word? Can anybody spell it Learnt? I didn't learn my lesson. I didn't learn my lesson. I didn't learn that I need to submit totally to the will and the plan of God. Listen, we were talking about Gideon's army, and we were talking about the book of Judges on Tuesday. If you didn't see the live, go back and watch the replay. But we were talking about how this particular army started out with 32,000 people, and they have been oppressed by the Midianites. 32,000 people. 32,000 people went down to 10,000 people. So 22,000 people were literally subtracted from this army. Gideon had to obey the plan of God in order to see victory. Gideon had to follow the plan of God. Good morning, bruh. Aunt Baker, good morning to you. Anthony Baker, good morning to you. He had to follow the plan of God. He had to follow the way of God. He had to follow the will of God in order to see results. Can y'all hear me this morning? In order to see results and manifestation and the promise of what God really said concerning you, you have to follow his plan to the T. You can't be so distracted that you cannot follow the plan of God. And so it says here they went from an army of 32,000 men and they dropped 22,000 people in a day. He said these simple words: Gideon, I want you to go out before the army and tell them, whoever is afraid, whoever is fearful, go home. Whoever is carrying the spirit of fear, go home. And I'm speaking to some of you all who may be in leadership, some pastors or etc., leadership on your job and etc. When you're going into warfare and you're going into battle, you don't need a bunch of fear around you. You don't need a bunch of scared people around you. You need individuals who understand that God is with you and God is for you and you're going to win this battle. So 32,000 men, an army of 32,000 is cut in half because 22,000 said, I'm scared and I'm going home. They went back to their house and they're left with 10,000 soldiers, 10,000 people to fight the Midianites with, who is a very, very, very large army. And even with the 10,000, here's the point. He comes back and God tells Gideon, listen, what and who you have with you is still too many. See, a lot of us, we like to get all of these other things that are sparkly. We like to get to the numbers and we like to get to the big. I'm not coming against the big because God is doing big things. As I said on Tuesday in my life, I'm not coming against big. I know God has big, but sometimes you can't be so focused on getting to big that you can't understand that God would allow you to win with the hand that you've been dealt. God would allow you to win with what you have. God would allow you to win even though your credit is not where it should be. Y'all don't want to talk to me. God will allow you to win even when your bank account is not where. God would allow you to win against the doctor's diagnosis. God will allow you to win with the hand that you've been dealt and what you have in your hand. And so they're down to 10,000 people. And he said, listen, Gideon, who you got with you is too many. Let me just tell you it from a pastor's standpoint. It just don't feel good. It just don't feel good to start out with a big, large number of people following, doing, obeying, and going, and then God comes and say, you who you got to switch some stuff up because who you got with you, you got some scared people with you, and still there who you have with you is too many. It just don't make sense because you're like, what do you mean? We need this to expand. We need these people to grow. We need this and we need that one and we need. I need to tell you today, you don't need who you think you need, and that's enough for somebody to run on here for me, so I don't get put out of this hotel. You don't need who you think you need to succeed. You don't need who you think you need to win. I know you had in your mind that you was gonna ride it out with them forever, and God came in and He changed the plan. He changed the plan. Don't fight against what God is doing. Good morning to everybody who's tuning in now. You don't need who you think you need. Good morning, lady Tyronda. Good morning. Good morning. You don't need who you think you need. You don't. Let me tell you, if God removes them for whatever reason, that means we don't need to be asking all these questions. We need to go with what we have. And we need to go with who's connected. And we need to go with who has the ambition, the passion, the drive, and who God has set to be the team player for this specific battle. That's basically what I'm saying. And so he gets down to 10,000 people in his army. And he says, you know what? This is too much. You got too much here. At least you say that you've done this on your own accord. You did. At least you say that we won this battle without God. I'm going to prove, this is what God is saying to y'all. Hear this prophetically. I'm going to prove to you that you're going to win with something small. People are going to be wondering, how did you win with that hand? How did you win with only 300 strong? How did you win with 300 strong? I'm reminded, in our Bishop Todd M. Hall made a statement. It's been some years ago, but the goal was set, and the strategy was for every church to get 300 strong members. 300 strong members and 300 strong members. And it reminded me just today of this specific story, 300 strong. You don't need 3,000. If God want to give you 3,000, that's a blessing. But you got to win with the number God has given and those who He selected to be in your life and to partner and walk this battle out with you. Not just so one person can win, but so that the entire camp can win, the entire nation of Israel can win, the entire army can win, not just for one person. So the issue, I'm just going to stop right here because I have a lot of thoughts coming through my head. The issue is we have a mentality that when we go and fight, we only have ourselves in mind and we only see victory for ourselves. But when God has called you out to be a leader, when God has called you out to lead a people, you don't have a mentality of I win, then I'm good. No, you have people who are attached to you. You have people who are connected to you. You have people who are believing in your leadership. And so it's not just I'm going to win, we're going to win. We're going to win. And you need to get with people who have a mentality of we're going to win. We are a team. It's not what I have going on or what I'm doing, but we're going to win together. It doesn't matter who the leader is. It don't even matter who God called to lead it out. But we're going to win together. Yeah, if you win, I win. Can y'all type that? If you win, I win. See, I want people in my life, and I believe I have them at this moment, that if I win, you win. If God bless me, you bless. If God opened the door for me, I'm opening the door for you. If God put it in my hands, then I'm going to open my hands and I'm going to share with you. You need people in your life that want to see you win. You need people in your life that want to see you conquer. You need people in your life that's not coming up against the plan of God, that every time you got to look around and watch your back, because to make sure they're not drilling holes in your boat, to make sure they're not trying to make you sink for whatever reason. You need people on your team that want to see you win. They want to see you prosper. They want to see you grow. They want to see you expand. They want to see you come out with the victory. You don't want people on your team. You got to watch everything that they do, everything that they say, everything that come out of their mouth. You got to go back and regurgitate it. And you want people on your team that want to see not just you win, but they want to see everybody on the team called a team player. That's basically what I'm saying. A team player, a team mentality. And so he tells them, listen, Gideon, these 10,000 you got left, that's still too many. Since Gideon, this is taking too long for you to let go of this army, because I know you don't trust that you're going to win with what's in your hand. I'm going to separate them for you. And the Bible says that, he says here in the fourth verse, it says, and the Lord said unto Gideon, the people you got with you are too many. I said this unto you. He said, let me test them for you. Let me test them for you. Since you're so in love with them, let me test you. Since you're so used to them being there, let me test them for you. Move out the way, Gideon. I'm going to test these people for you. Let me show you what to do, Gideon. Those that go and drink and they kneel down to drink, send them back to their places, send them back home. But those who drink and lap like a dog, those are the ones you need to ride out with, because they are aware, that they are cognizant that they're in battle. They're not so they're trying to drink without looking, because they are watching and they are praying. They see and they are taking care of business at the same time. And so he tells them, he said, you know what? Those that lap like a dog, then those are the ones you take with him. Gideon, you are left now with 300 people. You were left with 300 people against thousands of people. Gideon is having to trust God at every level of his life. Good morning to everybody. He's having to trust God in every area of his life, every level, every step. I went from step one from 32,000 to 22,000, and we're on step two from 22,000 to 10,000, and then we're on step three. We're from 10,000 to 300 people. God, you're doing me dirty. You're doing me dirty, God. You can't take what I'm comfortable using. You can't take the rug from up under us. Y'all ever feel like that, God? That's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I know is going to provide. That's what I know is going to bring resources in. That's what I've been trained to do, and that's what I know to do. It's my comfort zone to have a whole lot. And God says, no, we're going to win this battle with 300 people. I just want, with my spiritual imagination, to even imagine. That's right, Lady Samantha. We are a team. We are a team. We are a team. Even in different churches, we should still be a team. We are a team with one goal, and that is to save souls and bring them into the kingdom of God. We are a team of believers. I believe with my spiritual imagination that the 300 that were allowed to fight in this battle were not just people who were just gifted and talented. They were not people who just knew it all. They were not people who just had money and resources and etc. and connections. I believe that the 300 were 300 obedient soldiers, 300 people who knew how to follow rules, 300 people who knew how to follow the leader. I wish I had some leaders on here today. Maybe you're on here. Maybe you're on here. 300 people that ain't gonna clap back when the leader say it's time to move. 300 people that ain't gonna have their own way and their own idea about a plan that God has already laid out. 300 people who's going to be with the vision and not cause division. Are y'all talking? Are there any pastors, ladies, first ladies, bishops, evangelists, prophets, evangelists, whichever one you want to be today? Are you on the live today? Are you on the live today? I believe there were 300 people who knew how to follow instructions. That if Gideon said take a right we taking a right. If Gideon said we taking a left, we taking a left. If Gideon said let us bow, we're bowing. If Gideon said it's time to cross over, see, you don't need to take people when you're getting ready to go into battle who always have a bunch of questions, a bunch of ideas, always trying to bring in a different plan, and you don't even really know the totality of the plan as a leader. All you know is that God said what he was going to do. All you know is that you're listening to the voice of God and you're walking out what God is telling you in real time. In real time. Real time. So I may not know the next step, but I know what he just said right now. And so 300 obedient people. Prophetically, I know I stopped because I heard the Lord say, those of you all in leadership, and I receive it for ourselves, my husband and I, those of you all who are in leadership and you pastor and you have a church, God is going to allow you to have 300 obedient people not questioning the vision, people not questioning the move, people not questioning what God told you, people that are not setting up their own plans and divisions and weapons amongst the congregation and amongst the camp, sending out problems and issues and etc. He's going to give you 300 obedient people. And some of y'all say, Lord, I don't even need 300. I just need 3. I just need 3 obedient people. I just need 3 people that can come together, touch and agree. 2 or 3. I just need a few that agree with the vision and the plan that God has set forth. And let me see what y'all are saying. We all gonna win. That's right. You win, I win, you win. I want all winners on my team. That's it, Felicia. If I win, you win. We all win. That's it. We all win. Amen. Good to see you, Michelle. Come on, Pastor. Team players. Absolutely. We are winners. God's victory. Lap like a dog. I'm behind on the comments like always. Talk, Pastor. Good morning, Lady Stephanie. My God, there is no I in team. Absolutely. Teach. Kingdom team always win. They're always. And so I believe these were 300 obedient people. And so Gideon, I know he's still fearful. He's like, God, you done got me in a crunch. You didn't got me just all over the place. And I really believe Gideon was like, are we really gonna win? It's all right. So Gideon, since you don't think you're gonna win with this 300, I understand in your mind, understand with your natural mind, you don't see how this is getting ready to happen. Are y'all with me? I understand in your natural mind, you don't see how you're gonna win the battle with what's in your hand. You don't see how you're gonna win with just 300 and you had 32,000 people. So the goal is not to get more people. The goal is to get the right people. Can somebody run for me? The goal is to get the right people on your team. That's the goal. The right people that believe. And these 300, he said, you don't believe me, Gideon? Go down there to the camp and you're going to hear something that's probably going to give you the faith and the wind that you need. Gideon goes down to the camp where the Midianites are at. And it says it was so many people. It was so many soldiers. They probably just looked like ants. It was so many people. And he overheard a conversation. And one of the Midianites sharing a dream and basically saying in this dream that I believe that God is basically giving the Midianites over to that boy Gideon. I saw some red roll breads. I don't know what kind of loaf of bread rolling to the camp. And he said out of his mouth, I believe. Y'all don't know when to shout. Y'all don't know when to shout. You don't know when to holler. I believe that the Lord has given the Midianites into that man's hand. I believe that Gideon and the Israelites are going to overtake us. What are you saying, and why did I slow down? I need y'all to understand that the enemy against the vision that God has placed in your hands. Know that God is giving you whatever you have asked. They know that you're going to win. They know that God has anointed you for the task. They know that their victory is coming to an end. They know that God has put it in your hands. You don't even know it yet. You don't even believe it yet. You don't even see it yet. You don't have a clue because you're looking at what's in your hand. You're looking at what's in your bank account. You're looking at the things that you have versus God is with you. The first thing God told Gideon already is go. I'm going to be with you. So that's why I said in the very beginning, I'm not doing nothing that God didn't call me to do. If he ain't going with me, I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going. I don't care how enticing it looks. I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going. Period. He says the enemies over here, he over here, the enemies talk about him. This is already in your hands. You're going to win with what's in your hands. Gideon, I can see him probably running back like, oh my God, we going to win, y'all. We going to win this battle. Because the reason we know we going to win is because our enemies have already said we going to win. Our enemies have already said it's been given over to us, that this battle has been given over to us. He goes back with a little extra faith, a little extra energy, and he tells them, God says, get up and go now. They get up. Y'all know the story. They go down, and all they had in their hand was trumpets and pitchers. He said, don't blow that trumpet. Don't do nothing with them pitchers until I tell you. You don't just need gifted people. You need obedient people. This sounds like a leadership lesson. You don't just need gifted people. You need obedient people who will follow the plan and the vision of God and not cause division. We're going to win with the people we have. Long story short, they blow the trumpets, which I can say right here, I feel like it's a form of praise. They didn't need all of what they thought they was going to need to win. They didn't even have to fight in that type of way. Bible says, and the Midianites turned on one another. I need to tell you, you don't even need to be worried about whatever and whoever is trying to come against the plan of God. I didn't say come against you, but come against the plan of God. You don't have to worry about them because it's God's plan, and God's plan will come to pass. You don't have to worry about them causing division. That's my 30 minutes. You don't have to worry about them causing division. They turned on themselves. And I need to tell you, whatever, whoever been coming up against the plan of God, it's in the word. They turned on themselves. They're going to turn on their own selves. They're going to start telling on each other. They're going to start, they supposed to be, they're going to start coming against each other. I need to tell you, this battle is already won. This battle is already fixed. This battle is already a done deal in your life. What do you need to do most if you didn't learn anything out of this lesson today of Morning Coffee and Me? The very thing you need to learn to do is to follow the plan of God, the will of God, because his way is how you're going to get victory. His will and his plan and his strategy is how you're going to get victory. I don't care how much you have. You can win from a 32,000 army down to 300 faithful and obedient soldiers. You can win with that and not have to literally fight. Just obey, praise, and worship God and watch God give over to you what you're supposed to have. Watch God allow what you've been praying for to land in your lap, land in your hand. Watch the manifestations of God, but you have to follow his instructions. Thank y'all for talking back to me. You have to follow his instructions. His instructions are not always easy. His instructions don't always make sense. His instructions do not, it comes against our logic and our thoughts. His instructions, you may not even know what's going to happen next. You just see the result and you see the manifestation of being obedient and trusting God with your very life. Trusting him that he's going to do what you say. I can't make God bless something that he didn't tell me to do. I can't make God open up a door that he didn't want me to have. I can't make God bless something that he never intended to happen. And that's where we spend a lot of our problems, spinning our wheels in the wrong direction, because we have another plan that's not the plan of God. And when we try to create different plans that's not his will, we create dysfunction, chaos, disunity, and division in our own lives, in our own homes, in our own ministries, on our jobs, everywhere. If you don't get anything else out of this message today, understand that following the plan of God will lead you exactly where you need to be. You're going to get victory with what's in your hand. Can somebody type that today, because my time is up? You're going to get victory with what's in your hand right now. You're going to get victory. You're going to get victory. You're going to get victory. You're going to get victory with what's in your hands right now. The battle is already won. And you already have the victory. You already got the victory. The battle is already won. You are already where you're supposed to be. Listen, I hope this word was a blessing to someone. I definitely pressed to get on this morning, and I'm in my unstoppable mode this morning due to everything that's taking place around the. We shall remain focused. We shall remain undistracted. We shall keep our eyes on the prize. We shall set our eyes on the things that are before us, ahead of us, because what's before you is better than what's being behind you. You're going to win with the $50 in your hand. Y'all don't believe it. You're going to win with the credit score you have. Y'all don't believe it. You're going to win with the people you have. You're going to win. And it's going to be amazing. At least you say it was by your own hands. No, you're going to be able to say, I had nothing to do. This had to be God. You talking about, God, you open this door with this type of credit. This had to be a miracle. This had to be God. And people will know that had to be God. God is with him. God is for her. And that's one thing I just need to let people understand. Don't try to come up against who God is for. Don't try it. Don't try to come up against the totality is actually the plan of God. It'll never work. You think you're getting a little ground and it'll flip on you. If God is for you, he's more than the whole world who could ever be against you. That is your confidence. Take confidence in that and in knowing if God is for you, guess what? You're going to be all right. I'm getting off alive today. I hope this word has blessed somebody on this morning. I hope somebody's been blessed by us speaking this morning, speaking life into you, letting you know you're going to win. And you don't need all of those accoutrements and things that you think you need to win. They're great. It's wonderful to have. But when God has intended for something for you to win, and when God has intentionally cut back, when God has intentionally removed individuals out of your life, when he's intentionally moved things around in your life, it don't matter whether you got the degree or you don't. It don't matter how smart you are. When God has you on his plan and his agenda, you're going to win with what's in your hand. Woo! Jesus. Simple, because we're just looking, and he's just looking for obedient vessels that's not rebelling against the plan of God. Blessings and favor be unto everybody who's on here today. Listen, if this word has been a blessing to you in any way, I'm going to ask you to go and sow. Don't click off, because sometimes y'all miss it. Don't click off when we get to this part. I want to ask you all to sow. I want to ask at least 20 of you all to sow a seed of $20 today. 20 of you all to sow a seed of $20. I'm going to ask 3 of you all to sow a seed of $50. I don't know which 3 you are, but I'm going to ask you today to sow a seed of $50. If you know that you're getting ready to win with what's in your hand, I'm like, it's just not going to make sense. It's not going to add up. I'm a living witness. It's just not going to add up. It's just not. It's just not going. God knows how to strategically put you in a position where you're at this position. He knows how to put you in a position to where you win. Literally, he can move people around. He can change. He can go in the system and he can change the numbers. He can make sure the right employer or the right supervisor is there on the day that you need the loan filled out. He can make sure that you get the right loan officer. He can make sure that he get rid of whoever. I'm a living witness that when God wants you to have something, when God has spoken a word over your life, whatever has and needs to take place for it to come to pass, it's going to happen. But you have to stay on that path. You have to stay on that path of following the plan of God. Even when it seems empty, keep following the plans of God. Even when it seems like it's not working, it is working. Even when it seems like things are not going in the direction that you planned, understand that the plans of God will always lead you in a safe place. It will always lead you in a whole place. You may not see him working, but he is working. Go to Latoya Harris Ministries, Latoya Harris Ministries Cash App. Some of you are already giving while I'm speaking. May the blessings of the Lord overshadow you, overflow you. Those of you out there sowing your $20 seed into the 3 individuals, male or female, who's sowing your $50 today. Those of you all who are saying, I trust God and I know that I'm getting ready to win big with what's in my hand. I'm getting ready to win big with what God has left me with. What walked away, you don't need it. What's not there, you don't need it. What hasn't showed up, you don't need it. Do y'all get that today? What walked away, what's not there for this moment in time in your life. Those of you who are seating while I'm talking, you don't need it. You got what you need in your hand right now. You got who you need in your life right now. And we're not just winning just to win, but this time I'm going to win big. Big enough that you blessed for the rest of your life. And I'm not just talking about financially. Since somebody typed that, I'm about to win big. I'm about to win big with small. Yeah, I'm about to win big. That's it. Lady Samantha, Lady Stephanie, Lady Kay, Tammy Barnes, Felicia Jones. I'm about to win big with small. I know some of y'all don't want to, some of y'all don't want to make that statement. You know, keep letting people say your little this and your little that, your little this, your little that, that little, and your little this and your little that, and your little this, your little that. You're gonna win big with that little. Yeah. And that's what really agitates individuals. Thank you all for seeding. Thank you all for sowing. If you don't have the 20 or the 50 and you still say, I want to be a blessing, you can do so. This is definitely good ground, and God is definitely with us. And we go in the confidence and the faith of God. You all be blessed, and may the favor of the Lord go with you and keep you, is my prayer. Have a wonderful, blessed Thursday. Bye-bye.